So it's the moment that I've been waiting for so long. Those of you who have followed my channel know that my Galaxy S4, which is right here in a bunch of pieces, the screen completely cracked on it due to heat, so I tried to see if I could fix it. Of course I can't. My HTC Evo 3D is in even worse shape. There's the back to it there. Here's the LCD screen. Here's the guts. Well, maybe this is the LCD screen. But anyway, the point is that that's in a million pieces. And yeah, that phone failed on me just with age and, you know, me getting it in and out of my pocket without a case for it. So anyway, in this box, finally delivered, finally, 1 day before release date, that is, through Sprint, is my new Galaxy Note 4. So I am like a kid in a candy store. I've been counting down the days since I pre-ordered, counting down the days since even before pre-order was available, before the Note 4 was even announced, watching all the teasers and everything else that came with it, and yeah, I've been waiting for this gem. Now there's probably about 10 million unboxings out there, okay? It was in Korea a long time ago. T-Mobile got theirs last week, so everyone has capitalized on the fact that they've gotten their Note 4 early, so this is nothing groundbreaking by any means. You can search Galaxy Note 4 unboxing pretty much on YouTube and you'll get about 10,000 results. So that's not what this is about. This is not about, you know, the first this, the first that. So I'm sure that you've all seen, you know, what the box looks like. It's typical Samsung. In fact, the S4 is in a box that was very similar to this. You know, it's got some information on here, you know, about its capabilities. This is a Sprint version, so it is Spark. But you know, I've always had Sprint because, well, I use an enormous amount of data, so I have to have the unlimited through Sprint. I've always had Sprint. Yes, their service definitely lacks behind the rest of the big four, but for me, since I have a tower right nearby, it works just fine. So there's actually two stickers that hold this together. There's one on this side, and then you've got one down here, and that should release that. So I'll go ahead and get this out of its sleeve. Just pretty typical sleeve. It's got all the information on the bottom there, which obviously I won't share with you guys. But here we are with the inner shell. I always think of that guy that dropped his iPhone every time I think about lifting up on that. So here's the device. You know, obviously this is the Sprint version, which is going to be different than, you know, any of the other carriers. So yeah, it's, you know, it's got some different information on here. I know that T-Mobile's has all the different what it can do and things like that. So typical box insert. You know, you've got all the great Sprint getting started guide. That's kind of unusual. Never seen that before. I mean, I don't really care, but it looks like they just kind of threw it in there real quick. But that's got your quick start guides. And the recycle the old phone, I highly doubt they will take either of these phones I have for recycling. I have already, I don't know if these are any different. They don't look any different. There's typical Samsung earbuds with some spare. I mean, I've got so many of these from my S4 that, yeah, this looks pretty much the same as standard Samsung. You got the same standard USB 2.0 you know, cable here. And a little bit different, though, is this actual charger, which is now a 9-volt charger, which is going to be pretty interesting because you can actually charge your phone to 50% in 30 minutes. That's different. That's, you know, that's pretty quick. Now, I don't know, you know, with batteries the way that they are, you've got what's called a float charge where, yes, it'll charge it to 50%, but then as soon as you unplug it, it immediately drops down. I don't know if that's the case. I haven't read anything about that. But this is a different charger. This is an adaptive fast charger, so I'm going to have to use this exclusively for the Galaxy Note 4, most likely. I don't know if they're going to make car chargers that are compatible as well. This is the extra tips for the S Pen, as well as the pliers to actually get the tip out. Of course, this is my first Note, so I'll have to read about that. That's actually where I'm going to be reading the literature. And there's the battery. pretty tall battery, just slightly larger than the Note 3. And of course, I always do this, but I know a lot of people don't. In fact, I've seen a lot of pictures over the past week of people just firing up their phone right out of the gate. But, so I'm going to fully charge this phone before it even powered on. And, you know, it's lithium-ion batteries. You don't necessarily have to do that, but that's something that I'm going to do just because I feel much better about it being fully charged when I first power it on versus, you know, with a 40% charge that it actually comes with. So, yeah, NFC, battery. I do use Google Wallet, so that is going to be something that, fortunately, I'll be able to take advantage of, the NFC. Back to the device. Again, as I said, this is different than, you know, the other carriers. You know, this is just stuff that Sprint basically throws on there, their own customized version. It's yeah, it's sticky. Looks like there's some protection on the sides here, which I didn't notice before on some of the other unboxings. Maybe they got it off at the same time. I'm not really sure exactly, but there's some protection on the side here, and then the front obviously has its own. Looks like you can peel it from the top. So yeah, pretty typical, I guess. Yeah, so there's some outer shell protection, the edges, and I believe there is a camera. There's one for the camera. Yep, there's actually one right there. Good idea. So there we go. So that's all for the protection. There is no battery in it right now, obviously, but just feeling it, I mean, this impression has come across pretty much universally that it does feel premium. There's no doubt about that. Yes, it's always going to be compared to, let's say, the iPhone. Of course, you know, that seems to be the reference to quality built smartphones is referencing the iPhone, especially the iPhone 6. The 6 Plus, which this one seems to be compared to the most, but I feel the premium in it. It's something that you have to actually hold the device to feel. But I've been hearing about it for a while. You know, people have been saying that, oh, it feels so much better, it feels so much more premium. That is definitely the case. This feels solid, even with the battery not in there. It just has just a kind of a luxury feel to it. It's really quite amazing, actually. So that may be the geeky portion coming out, but yeah, I really like this build versus the plastic. Of course, it does have its share of plastic on it. This back cover is nothing more than like a faux leather. But I'm going to go ahead and get the battery in. Looks like you just stick your finger in the upper right-hand corner here, and yep, just pops right out. Go ahead and get the battery in here. It already comes with a SIM. I have a micro SD card. I'm not going to put it in right yet, but I've got a 64 gig micro SD card in my old phone, and I'll probably be using that here real quick. But I'm going to give it a charge to full with the phone being off, and that way when I go to activate it, I will be all set. So there it is, the Galaxy Note 4 from Sprint. I'm glad that there's no carrier branding on this. Sprint has rarely put carrier branding on their newer phones. I know Verizon is really guilty of this. AT&T just about the same. T-Mobile isn't as bad, but you know, with Verizon, you know, they got the logo up here. There's a logo here. You know, it practically projects and talks Verizon as you're on the phone to let everybody know that you're on Verizon. Man, this is just, I don't know, I can't explain it. It's just so much better build-wise. I can see the 2.5D glass, you know, just kind of curves around the edges. It's different. It's just different. There's just something about it. It's different. So I am really looking forward to getting this powered up for the first time. So, all right, if anybody has any questions, this is mainly for my YouTube channel. Kind of excited to share this with my you know, my YouTube subscribers, because those of you who have followed know that I've been under a lot of stress with not having a good phone to use for my YouTube channel. So this right here is going to be producing my videos from here on out. Everything that I do is going to be through this phone. Now I do have a hard shell case here. This is Spigen, whatever you want to call it. It is a hard shell case, and I'm Gonna be putting this in here actually later, but I did get a case for it, so yeah, really excited. So alright guys, if you have any questions, definitely let me know. Yeah, pretty exciting. Take care guys.